today, this is going to be a class in showing you how to write listings that sound like a real human that also get sales. Because right now, it might feel like you need to get more traffic. And I see this a lot. People will always say to me, Steph, like, how do I get more traffic? I need more traffic. I need more eyeballs. But the problem is that you don't necessarily know that that is your actual problem, okay? It could be that your listings are just not doing their job. And the big question is, what if like you're not actually bad at marketing, bad at selling, bad at getting traffic, but maybe you're just describing your product like a robot with a thesaurus. You know what I mean? So today we're going to be breaking that down. And if you're new here, hello, my name is Steph. And if you're new to Etsy, I can already kind of see what's happening. You've probably made something genuinely lovely. You've taken photos, you've done your listing, you've pressed publish, and now you're staring at your listing like, why does it sound a bit weird, a bit awkward? Why does it feel like suddenly when I'm sitting down to write this thing, it feels like I'm writing a GCSE English essay? And why does every single Etsy tip video make me feel like there's something else that's added to my to-do list? Or even worse, I come away from it learning absolutely nothing. That is my personal goal for this channel, for this podcast. If you don't know, there's an audio version of this and a video version of this. That is my mission. Like, I don't want to contribute nonsense and noise out there, because we all know there's certain people who come up in the search results, you click on their video and they're all just saying a fat load of nothing. So that's why I've got my iPad out. I'm here to actually give you a class to teach you something today. So I have got, like I said, my iPad here. I've also got some notes up on screen. So if you see my eyes darting about, please do not worry. It's just me checking my notes and making sure I've actually spoken about the things that I was meant to say. You honestly, like, you do not need a listing that is full of complicated mess. All you need is a listing that makes sense to a real person, not just any real person, but your specific target audience who is scrolling whilst they're bored. Because let's be honest, 99% of the time when we are using our devices, we're doing it whilst we're sat on the toilet. We're doing it whilst we're in bed. We're doing it whilst we're in the queue at Tesco. Like, we're doing it when we're half eye on the screen, half eye off. Or we're doing it when we are so bored. Today, I'm giving you a dead simple structure that you can use on every single listing, okay? No sales copy waffle, no brand story transformation, the hero's journey. Like, we're not doing that today. Now, a quick side note, if you like this kind of simple, no fluff help that's actually going to teach you something, hit subscribe, hit follow wherever you are consuming this video or podcast version, because every single Wednesday I'm dropping really helpful stuff like this. So let's get into it. The real job of your listing is one thing, and it's literally to help a stranger decide, is it for me or not? Okay. Now, one thing that I do want to like bring your attention to is your conversion rate, right? So I just want to do a quick lesson on this. All right. So your conversion rate, it's going to ideally sit between 1 to 5%. So that means out of 100, 1 to 5 of them, not 1 to 5, 1 to 5 of them will buy. So that means that 99% to 95% of people that see your listing will decide this is not for me. Okay. So actually, this is completely normal. And I just want to like normalize this, because a lot of the time we think, oh, 50 people viewed that listing. Why did no one buy? Well, that is actually completely normal, right? So I just want to like normalize this. And this whole video is going to help you to increase your conversion rate. But I just want you going into this video having that understanding that that is completely normal. You are never going to have a 100% conversion rate. For any business, it's completely unattainable and impossible. So your buyer is sleepily scanning your listing, the search results. They're not really like 100% locked in to Etsy. So as you can imagine, that is why we have to make our listing extremely clear, okay? because we have a tired, I'm going to put bored here. So we have a bored/tired buyer. Okay, so imagine what you're like when you're bored and tired. You know, your brain isn't exactly locked in. Your brain's not like switching on, lighting up like a Christmas tree. You're just kind of like, okay. For podcast listeners, I have a stick man, a sleepy/bored buyer, and they are thinking 3 things when they're shopping for your items on Etsy. And those 3 things are, what is it? Will it work for me? And what do I need to know before I buy? Okay, those are the only 3 things you need to know about your buyer. Because if your listing gives them clarity, they feel confident enough to click add to basket. And if your listing gives them confusion, they bounce off, they click cross, they go back, they just go, oh, and they backtrack, because we know a confused mind always says no. Even if your product is gorgeous, even if like you are a literal angel with a glue gun, like it doesn't matter. If your listing and the way you're presenting it to them is confusing, they're going to like peace out of this. Okay, so I want to very, very quickly talk about titles, all right? I get asked this a lot. Steph, what's like the easiest way to structure my title? Steph, what keywords should I include? Steph, how do I find these words? Where do I put them? And this is one out of many simple title structures. And it is what it is, plus who it's for, plus what makes it different. Okay, so let's go through some examples here. So let's do candles. Soy wax candle, comma, clean burn, comma, lavender and vanilla, comma, gift for her. Okay, or hand poured candle, comma, citrus scent, comma, vegan, comma, cozy home gift. Okay, let's do a jewelry example. Sterling silver hoop earrings, comma, minimalist everyday jewelry. Or personalized name necklace, comma, custom gift for mum. Or even a crochet example. Crochet baby blanket, comma, soft neutral, comma, newborn gift. Now, did you notice what I didn't do with those examples? It didn't start with beautiful or handmade with love or the Morgan collection. Because beautiful and all those like descriptive adjectives and verbs, they tell me nothing, right? Everything on Etsy, strictly speaking, is beautiful, right? I mean, depends on your tastes, but you know, strictly speaking, everyone can describe their item as beautiful and one of a kind and handmade with love. Also, what I didn't do is go candle, comma, candle gift, comma, candle handmade, comma, candle soy candle. Like, that is just insane, and that is a cry for help if you are doing that, if your keyword stuffing is basically what that is called. I have actually seen a few people on YouTube and on TikToks that I get sent that are literally telling you to keyword stuff. And I promise you, if you are keyword stuffing, Google is going to hate you forever. And Etsy is just going to go, yeah, this person has no idea. We're just going to like bury that listing at the bottom of the search result. Do you want keywords? Yes, but you want them in a sentence that a human could say without like not coming up for air, you know? So title it needs to have clarity first with also natural keywords inside of it. Now, I want to talk about descriptions. And actually, the opening part of your description matters more than the whole rest of it, okay? Especially in Etsy's world. This is where most beginners go wrong, is that they'll start their description like it's a Jane Austen novel. They'll be like, dearest gentle reader. And it's like, oh, okay. Like they'll say, introducing this beautiful handmade, one-of-a-kind item. Like that is just a big, big no-no. Your first 3 lines need to do the heavy lifting, okay? Because Etsy chops your description up so that people have to click to expand it. So actually those first 3 lines are vital. And also most of the time, if someone is reading your description, they are 80% of the way to adding it to add to cart to buy, right? So your first 3 lines needs to answer these 3 things, okay? What is it? What problem does it solve? And what's the main selling point? Okay. Now, also, I do want to add into this as well. It does need to have a hook, because if you want someone to expand your description to read all of it, it has to have a hook to hook them in order for them to do that. So here's some examples for candles. A hand-poured soy wax candle with a clean, slow burn and a soft lavender and vanilla scent. Perfect for cozy evenings or gifting. Or for jewellery, minimal sterling silver hoops for everyday wear. Lightweight, comfortable and made to last. A simple gift that actually gets worn. And lastly, let's do a crochet example. A soft crochet baby blanket in neutral tones, made for pram naps and newborn cuddles, gentle on sensitive skin and designed to be used daily. So do you see the pattern there? It's very, very helpful. It's also mirroring what's in the title. You know, you can also notice that the keywords are like nicely scattered within that as well. And it's like, it's going to answer these 3 questions so that they go, yes, that's exactly what I need. And also carrying on from the whole description thing, you know, because it is important. Your sales copy is so important. It sells for you 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. So you might as well put some real energy and effort into it. Now, sales copy, by the way, it doesn't have to just be descriptions. But in this video, that's mainly what I'm honing in on because we're talking about your listings, right? So buyers care about one of these 3 things. And actually what I want you to do is I want you to focus on 2 of them. And it really depends on your product as to what 2 you want to focus on, right? So we have how it feels. So that is comfort, cozy, luxury, lightweight, soft. You've got how it works, which is things like burn time, size, materials, hyperallergenic care. And you've got how it fits their life. Things like gift ready, fast dispatch, personalized, matches their style, minimalist, maximalist, all those kinds of things. Okay. So when you're writing, pick 2 main angles. So for candles, you could do how it works and how it fits into their life. For jewelry, you could do how it feels and how it fits into their life. So pick the 2 that matter most for your consumer and your product. Basically, what I'm trying to do is show you a structure. So we've talked about the hook, okay? We've talked about exactly how we want to hook people in with what is it, what problem does it solve, and main selling point. That is basically your hook to bring people in, okay? Now, to continue that, we're going to pick 2 of these 3 angles to basically continue to sell to them. Then I want to move on to the detail, okay? Now, one thing I need you all to be aware of is every one of your details should be a bullet point list. Please, 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 just give them what they need in the fastest, most easiest readable way you possibly can. You don't have to do like boring bullet points. You can do emojis, you can do like arrows, you can do ticks, you can do boxes, like whatever works for you. But please just make sure that you are giving them what they need to know in a bullet point list, okay? We all know that bullet points are one of the easiest things to read, so make it easy for them. So in the case of like a candle, do a bullet point that's like 100% soy wax, vanilla and lavender scent, 200 ml jar. Okay, if it's jewelry, it's like sterling silver, chain length, hyperallergenic, yes or no, gift packaging. Like actually give them the basics in a very easy, consumable way. And actually, I would recommend with these details putting it in a listing photo as well, because we know that people will only expand their description if they're 80% of the way to buying. So you want to catch them like before that point and actually give them the basics that they need to know. So it might be fun to have like a visual version of all of these details in your picture, in the photos, because you can have up to like 20 now, so you might as well use them and actually show them the details. Don't just tell them. Now, the other bit that I really want you to consider adding is frequently asked questions. Add a little mini FAQ at the end of your description. This is the bit that makes you look established, like you've already preemptively understood your target audience and the concerns and the questions that they might have already had. So here's some examples, like, is it ready to ship? Can I choose a different scent or color? Is it gift wrap? How long does personalization take? What if I need it by a certain day? Like, answer those in bullet points as well. What this does is that it reduces friction, it reduces messages and DMs, and it reduces the hesitations that people have to buying. Okay, so now let's go over the final listing anatomy here, okay? You have your title, which the template I taught you was what it is, plus who it's for, plus a key detail. Then we have your first 3 lines. This is going to be what it is, main benefit, and who it's for. Then we have the bullet/details. This is specs, size, materials, care, dispatch, personalization, anything that they need to know. Then you have your frequently asked questions. This is things like gift wrap, dispatch times, returns, hyperallergenic, all those kinds of things. Now, one thing I've just written up on the screen here is if they have to think they won't buy, like I really want you to take that quote away with you. If they have to think they will not buy, because that is the rule. Your listing should be like a, yep, hands down, got it. Not, wait, what size is it? Is it silver? Does it come in a box? How long does it take? Like they should know the answers to all of those questions. This is actually like a very underrated issue, and why your conversion rate has probably dropped, especially over the last couple of years or so, because people want to know these things before they buy. Let's be honest, we've all been scammed at some point, or not even scammed, but we've all kind of bought something and then received it and been disappointed AF. And that leaves a stain on your buyer's trust, you know? So this is why we want to make the listing very, very clear, very, very obvious, and a hands down yes or no. Now, also do not forget, like I said at the beginning of this, like 99 to 95% of people that come to your listing, it will be a hands down no, but that's normal because your conversion rate should be 1 to 5%. So your homework is to pick one of those listings for this week, and I want you to go through this final listing anatomy, go through the sections that I've spoken about today and actually rewrite your listing a little tiny bit. Make it clearer, make it a hands down yes or no. And also, whilst you're there, do subscribe. If you're listening on the podcast or watching the video version, you definitely want to subscribe, because every single Wednesday I'm bringing you really cool classes, tutorials, and all those kinds of things every single Wednesday. But for now, my loves, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you all real soon. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you love this episode, make sure you hit the follow button so you never miss the next one. And also, why not come and hang out with me on Instagram? It's at Handmade Bosses for daily tips, behind the scenes. And also, don't forget, you can catch the video version of this podcast over on YouTube too. Until next time, keep going towards your handmade business goals, boss, because the world really does need those special creations that only you can make.